Hey everybody, welcome back. We've still got the randomizer up. I guess it didn't betray me last time as hard as I thought it might. Eden true ending. Look, this is the kind of thing we'll make it a runtime decision. Last Eden run we had was incredible. Do you like the screen region? How do you like the screen region here? Bet you want me to change that. There you go. This seems kind of good. Hold on. We got rock tears. That's really good. 4.4 damage. Rate of fire is like, you know, not great, but we got jar of flies too, dude. Considering the damage we're doing, this is kind of incredible. Horn of Azazel means once every 4 rooms we are Azazel, or we get like a 10-second window where we shoot like an Azazel laser. This seems kind of unbelievable, honestly, by, like, you know, starting standards. Like, honestly, if you do things the right way on this room with this combination, you're a coward. You think we can find secret rooms in this ilk as well? I imagine it's more likely than you think would be what I would expect. Anyway, it's still the same day as yesterday. I mean, that would be weird, right? That'd be like a Groundhog Day, you know, Palm Springs sort of situation. No, it's not. Obviously, it's not the same day as yesterday, but I'm recording this on the same day as yesterday, which means anecdotally, pretty light on the anecdotal front. I did manage to make it to the grocery store. You know, I picked up some stuff. Take some broken glasses, why not? I only now, you're gonna laugh at me, I only now just noticed the tell that you get when you're about to become Azazel. How sad is that? Like, it's actually an enormous blinking character visualization, and yet I was like, how am I supposed to know I'm about to become Azazel? It's like, it's useless. Hold on, it's not so bad. I did manage to make it to the grocery store. We have an endless amount of turkey, but you need stuff to go along with the turkey. I will say it's -7 degrees out, which is not in the Celsius. What is that? Just go ahead and say it. I know you know you could be the nicest person in the world, but as soon as someone says something in Celsius, here it comes. What's that in freedom units? I don't know, like 26 maybe? Wait, 14? I don't know, something like that. It's below 32. How does that make you feel? Unlike me, who is now 33 years old. What an incredible run we got going on here, by the way. All dips are friendly. Spawns 1 random dip when you clear a room. Let's look. Broken glasses. I get you get like an occasional second item from the item room, and that's quite meritorious. It's not devoid of merit, but this is a rare opportunity to use an unusual trinket properly. Bought some bread, some baby food, a Caesar salad making kit. I know what you're gonna say. Why not just buy this stuff yourself? Look, you pay a premium for it all to be contained within one bag. But here, excuse me. But honestly, in my heart of hearts, if I had to ballpark for you the percentage of times I buy a bottle of salad dressing and I use it all versus the number of times that I buy a bottle of salad dressing, stop eating salads 3 weeks later regularly. Yeah, just take me down. And then have to, like, when I start again a few months later, be like, when did I buy this? Okay, well, it's like oil and vinegar based, so it doesn't go bad that quickly, but it surely still goes bad. There's like supposed to be some feta in it or something like that. And I go, hey, don't risk it. It's a $5 bottle of salad dressing. Just put it in the compost and buy another one. I'm not saying it comes out in the wash, but all I'm saying is people, in my opinion, and justifiably so in a lot of circumstances, don't get me wrong, but they have almost like a fetish for finding the best deal, for not getting ripped off. Never buy those salad kits, man. They got you paying $2.75 for $1.80's worth of romaine. Be that as it may, from a food waste standpoint, I think we should go angel deals for fun. Be that as it may, I've never had a salad kit where I created any food waste for myself. It gives you a reasonable amount of salad. I eat all the salad. I'm right as rain. Just like the Oracle told Neo that he would be after he finished that cookie. You know what I mean? So don't judge me is all I'm trying to say. I also bought some granola. Bought some skyr. You know how it is. But the main pull of this anecdote is that I put on a coat that I had not worn in quite some time. It's my super, super warm winter coat. So warm that when I returned from my little grocery shopping trip, okay, I guess they're forcing my hand. I'll take Abaddon though. Like, that's kind of sick. I'm not upset. I'm even taking a Thane because I'm insane in the mem Thane. That's not funny. It's not offensive. Like, if something's not funny, it should at least get people going. But that was just like a waste of everybody's time. It's not even going to spawn any tweet threads. So this jacket is like, it's like a real winter jacket, right? Like, it's insulated with real stuff. It's not designed just to look like trendy. It's not made of wool. It's made of like some kind of astronaut foam or something like that. Anyway, I reached into the left pocket. Just, you know, you put your hands in your pocket. Inside of my pocket, I found a receipt. I said, oh, that's interesting. Looked at the receipt. It was for a restaurant I ate at in New York during Champions of Fire 2, which was, for those keeping track, I think it was December 2018. So it's been a while since I wore it, but you know what? The funny thing is, I also bought that jacket like December, well, maybe November 2018. So it was nice at the very least to get to the point where I'm like, hey, you know what? At least I got a second use out of it. By the way, like I feel like I got my money's worth out of it just wearing it in New York, which was extremely cold at the time, and you know, oftentimes in December. But it finally became Vancouver useful as well. Roots was incapable of standing up to the level of cold that we got out there today. It's funny, like, I know this, I'm now verging on the other side of, like, the meme about, like, oh, you think it's cold where you live? But it's funny, like, Kate and Kate's sister were talking about, it's supposed to be, like, minus 14 degrees Celsius tomorrow. And they were, like, both of them, independent of one another, had the exact same reaction, which is the weather report must be wrong. Like, minus 14 is pretty cold, but... especially in Vancouver, it's like, nobody would say it's pleasant. Maybe some psychos in Minnesota would be like, oh, it's shorts wearing weather, don't you know? Not me. You know, I live in a world of some relative thermodynamic objectivism. That's a cold temperature for humans to be out and about. Rip to you if you're from Minneapolis, St. Paul, no disrespect intended. I had to choose a state for a straw man. If you had to choose a state that is, you know, being cold as part of their identity, I imagine you might go for Alaska first, but I honestly didn't even think about it till now. I went with Minnesota instead. Sure, I'll take a little Gertie. Take a little Gertie off the top. Bob Had a Baby, It's a Boy. I was actually thinking about that classic Bob Had a Baby, It's a Boy infomercial the other day. Because, you know, that infomercial is, like, old enough that the boy who Bob had, who was a baby at the time, would be an adult. Doesn't that make you feel old? Do you wanna feel old? The baby from Bob Had a Baby, It's a Boy is old enough to vote in the 2022 congressional midterms. This is honestly like a 15... Well, I don't know. People are like wise to that stuff. The culture has changed a little bit. But in like 2016, that would have popped off on Twitter. That would have gone hard, man. Now people would be like, want to feel old? Would you take a crap for $1 billion? And I'd be like, sorry. I was just trying to make people laugh and farm engagement. Sorry. I'm deliberately shooting all these mushrooms. I must be sick, man. I must be not ill. Let's not wish that on me. We've been through that. Whoa, 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 whoa. You wouldn't believe, Bob had a baby, it's a boy, the baby who was a boy now suing Collect Calling for using his likeness without his permission. I'm kind of riffing on the Nevermind baby, you know, the baby from the Nevermind album cover, this suing, or I hate to say suing as if it adds like some legitimacy, has filed a lawsuit against whatever estate owns the rights to the Nirvana catalog. I don't know what it is. I haven't heard it in any Sam Yo classic rock rides, so I'm assuming that Peloton doesn't have access to it yet, but it's just a matter of time, man. It comes for everybody. I don't really want bone hearts. I'm kind of loving where I stand with the spirit hearts right now. I'm feeling good. Just in general, feeling good. Has been a busy day. Wife is a little, you know, she did a lot of entertaining this weekend. I know that sounds like the world's least thinly veiled double entendre. I promise you it's not. We just, you know, we had family over. It was the holidays. Showing off the baby. You gotta see the baby, etc., etc. She's a little tired today. I had a lot of baby duty today, man. I got a lot of baby duty today. Added to the oeuvre of little tricks that I got, you know. Found out a couple more books that, you know, she's a big fan of. It's funny, we probably have like 50 books for the baby, but they go in and out of style like faster than the man bun hairstyle. Faster than men's facial hair preferences change. Whoops. Like books that she loved when she was like 8 months old, when she was much less cognizant of what was going on. She hates them now. I think, honestly, it must be close to a universal human thing that when you want, well, I don't know if everybody's in this position, but I've always wanted to, you know, be a little older than I actually am for whatever reason, at least to be taken seriously. So you're like, I don't watch that stuff. That stuff's for babies. I feel like even though she's only like, you know, not even 15 months old yet, she's like, don't read me Poppy Says Hello, where the entire contents of the book are 1 horse, 2 cows. Read me Where's Poppy? I'm not a baby. Where's Poppy has a bunch of, there's questions in it. There's a call and response. There's multiple animals. There's a bird, a bee, a squirrel. One other animal that I can't remember, but it's all right. The book's not really for me. Sure, I'll take that. There is something, I don't want to invoke this evil on people, but we talk about, you know, changing trends from time to time. Facial hair is an interesting one. I like having a little beard. I only started rocking the little beard after the baby was born. I think it was almost like symbolic, right? It was like a nice way to mark the passage from, not from like boy to man or anything like that, because that's, I feel like when most people grow their first beard is when they're like, you know, they get 6 facial hairs and they're like, well, time to become, who has a beard that, time to become a gentleman. You know, boys have swag, men have class, sweetheart. But I didn't do that. I've maintained, you know, usually it's more out of a semblance of like laziness, to be honest. Like being clean shaven, if you want to go for it, like be my guest. I don't think there's any specific like morality or merit to being clean shaven versus, you know, having a beard. It always makes me laugh. I don't want this. I want Jar of Flies. What have I done? I guess we'll save half a heart on the way in. Maybe I'm a genius. Like in the NHL, there's a general manager who's famous for not letting his players grow beards. And it's such a like a Mr. Burns sort of like sports psychology. There are some people that like respond to it, and there's always like some, I don't know. I'll be the first to tell you I don't live in the real world, but whenever people are like, it gets the whole team disciplined and on the same level, so no, if nobody can have a beard, they're all equal, they're all in this together, and I'm like, I mean, maybe, but like, is it possible that you're actually just 85 years old and don't know what the heck you're talking about? Because like, it's what you're saying sounds insane, quite frankly. Always makes me laugh though when people are like, you know, and it's like a North Korean doctrine. Like you can only have like 7 hairstyles. You go to the barber and it looks like the wall at a McDonald's, you know? Plus 2, thank you. Just trying to get back into the swing of things before the stream tomorrow. Trying to remember what it's like to crack some jokes and so on and so forth. Many people are saying this. Hold on, let me back into this room. But men's facial hair is interesting, you know, like it changes quickly. That being said, I feel like we've been in a disproportionately long beard epoch, if you will, where beards have been fairly trendy. I think it's fair to say that, I mean, like, the 2000s to the 2010s was a very clean-shaven sort of, that was the platonic ideal espoused at least by, you know, the music industry in North America and Hollywood. You know, there were boy bands and all the it actors were like clean-shaven, you know, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Chad Michael Murray. I'm trying to think of one that would be funny to put in there. Drew Carey, of course. No offense, Drew. A large pill. What could it couldn't be bad. Funny joke. He's so excited, man. I didn't want to burst his bubble. Speed down. Speed down. Coming up the mountain. Speed down. Coming down the street. Then I think in like maybe around like the most, and I always hate to say this because I know that inevitably there's probably like 200 people out here watching this that are gonna feel like they're in this photo and they don't like it. But I feel like the most cursed form of facial hair in like 2021, and anything can work on you like if it fits your face. I'm not trying to like pop your bubble that everybody's talking about your beard behind your back or anything like that. I guess that's the whole reason we hold on to the trinket is for this boss right here. That was pretty easy. But I say this as a noted previous goatee user for about 2 years, from 2009 to 2011 or so, is the goatee. I don't feel like I see a goatee that much anymore on people that I would describe as like cool guys. But there was a time. And if you didn't live through it, then just shut up, because, you know, you don't have the same kind of, like, scars that we have. There was a time for maybe, like, 5 or 6 years where cool guys had goatees. You know? Even, and I hate to say it, because, again, it's, like, so opposite of, like, where the facial hair standard is at now. But even going so far as to grow a goatee but shave the mustache portion of it, you know? And all I'm saying there, because I know that the first principle is people go, yeah, we were so stupid back then. I say, no, no, no. What I'm bringing this up for is to steel yourself for the rise of the goatee in the near future, because it can't be that it's Sci-Fly. But Sci-Fly sucks now, right? Or is worse, because it was too much fun before. Steel yourself for the rise of the return of the goatee. Because it must be coming. It all comes back, man. People told me bootcut jeans are cool again. That was what my mom told me was cool in like the year 2001. She's like, hey, I got you all boot cuts this year. People like them a little baggy. Tis the style. Now boot cut is apparently, it's in vogue again. What little did I know. Okay, this is a little touchy, but we're in here. So the goatee will return. The one thing, and maybe you'll find this overly positive to baldness, but the one thing that I'll always say, and I don't have a problem with being bald in the first place, like it's low maintenance, it suits my head, plus I was losing my hair anyway. You know, I wish you had the best of luck if you're in the same position I was, and you've chosen instead to go on a long journey of finding a solution to male pattern baldness through chemistry or, you know, surgery or something. Honestly, quite frankly, not to be rude, but I just don't really care that much. We gotta go to the shop. Whatever's best for you is best for me. I would never be like, you know, I would never be confident being like, oh, don't do all that stuff. This was not a good place to use that. Just shave it off instead. I don't know. Maybe you really... I don't believe that you have a weird head, because everybody says they have a weird head. Even I have a weird head. I got like a little point on it, but everybody says like, oh yeah, you have an awesome head for getting this shaved. Yeah, but like before, when I had hair on it, I thought my head looked weird as heck because I'd never seen it without hair on it before. You got to give it a chance at least if you could. Anyway, look, we don't need to go down this road. All I'm saying, if you've chosen to go a different avenue, more power to you. But the one thing I'll say about baldness, I'm not saying it's in style. Like people were like, you know, oh, clamoring over themselves to become bald. But it never really goes out of style. It's just such a utilitarian hairstyle, right? You'd see a photo of, you know, somebody in 1975 rocking the baldness. You know, 2020 they're rocking the baldness. 2070 they're rocking the baldness. I don't think it's going anywhere just because it's more of like a condition than a stylistic choice, really. And again, I have to acknowledge I didn't live through this, so that's why I'm asking for, like, to learn, really. But in the 90s, for sure, I thank God I took the stars card. I was not paying attention, and I do want to fight the beast, because it'll make me look good, because I'm following the rules of the road, and also the run is too powerful to conceivably lose. Give me this, then, for sure. I guess it doesn't matter now that I think about it. Oh, yeah, you know what? We had Eden's Blessing this time, too, but I'll take it. But in the 90s, it seems like men that were balding didn't shave their head that much. It seemed like they just sort of like trimmed it really short, and they rocked kind of like the Costanza, you know, the Elliot Spitzer, I mean, there's a lot of options, you know, like the Red Foreman, either the horseshoe or just the sides, not really the back. Was that a stylistic choice, or was it just, you know... I mean, I don't know if anybody watching this is actually capable and ready to answer this question, but surely somebody out there has done like a PhD in like men's hair preferences. I would love to read their thesis subchapter on baldness, because like now, and I'd be very surprised if it kind of reversed, but now people are not like weird about it. They're just like, you know, they look at you at the worst as a cautionary tale. They're like, oh man, I hope that doesn't happen to me. That's about it. But it really seemed like, I just can't imagine why, like in the 90s, they were rocking the horseshoe like that's any better. At least with when you shave it off for a few days, nobody knows how bald you are. You could just be in a band. You know, you could be like balding a little. You could be a swimmer or something. Nobody knows, man. On the internet, nobody knows you're bald. As soon as you let the sides grow in, people can see, like, you know, they can see your genetic code laid bare in front of them. It's almost too intimate. Like, I can see it on myself. Obviously, I don't have the camera up, but, like, if I don't shave for a few days, I get, I can see my baldness pattern, and, like, there's nothing going on really on the top. Especially, like, the top front is evaporated. But nature's cruelest trick is that the sides and the back have never been better. I guess maybe there's some pride in that for some people. I don't know. I always thought like, the Costanza is only like a couple of months away from being a skullet, and that's the scary thing. Like, it's not like if you let it go for long enough, the middle is gonna magically catch up to the rest of it, right? Like, it's... once it's gone, it's gone. Well, I don't know if that's scientifically accurate, but it seems to be the case, you know, short of, I don't know, doing a bunch of modafinil you bought off the deep web or something like that. Anyway, we're moving on here. I'm just saying, what was old will be new again at some point, so prepare yourself. Because I specifically recall Like, you would watch a movie... In the year 2000, you would watch a movie that took place in, like, the 70s. People in the 70s were rocking beards. Like that... I mean, okay, this movie's, like, from 1988, but, you know, like, the scumbag from Die Hard, not Hans Gruber, but the guy who's, like, you know, he sells out Nakatomi Plaza to Hans Gruber. Like, 90% of men in their 30s were rocking that exact beard in the 70s for whatever reason. And you'd see videos from the 70s and be like, what the heck is going on? Like, everyone's got a beard. Don't they know that looks stupid? Nowadays, like, I feel like probably close to half the guys that I see that are, you know, old enough to reasonably grow one are sporting some kind of facial hair. Now I look at, you know, clean shaven, and I'm like, whoa, dude, clean shaven. What, are you trying to get carded every time you go to BC liquor store? I don't know. I mean, I don't actually pass judgment on people to that specificity. I'm mostly just trying to get through my day. I'm usually pretty preoccupied with my own thoughts, to be honest, but I definitely don't see someone with a beard as being abnormal. But what's crazy, you show me that same photo in 10 years, maybe I'll be like, man, remember when we all had beards? That was wild. Or I don't know, maybe I'll be like, wow, why are our beards so short? Now everybody's got a really long one. Or they cut an O into it, you know, for some, which was the style at the time. You know, like how Drake's hairline has like a heart cut into it. I don't know anything about Drake. I'll just be straight up with you, except I know his name is Aubrey. Is that correct? And he's a fan of the Raptors, and he was on Degrassi. And I know the song Passion Fruit, and literally like a couple of days ago, I was driving and God's Plan came on. And I was like, you know what, this song's pretty good. I knew the line before I knew the song, but the line, I asked her, she asked me, do you love me? I told her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. Girl, I'm sorry. That's like the introvert mantra. Because, like, I mean, I love more than just my bed and my mom. Like, my wife and my daughter, like my dad, even my cats, I'd say. But I really, like, the what I hear when I hear that line is, I love my bed, and I'm like, man, he's right. I never really thought about it, but I do. I love my bed. I do be loving my bed, like, straight up. Did I make a mistake on this run? Is there something that I should have been doing that should be making this difficult? Or is that just when we fight the final boss and we don't get... the speed down pill we took as a joke means that we can't get far enough away from the tractor beam, so we just die. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. This is an incredibly strong run. I'm very pleased with the way this has gone down. No doubt about that. Can I just get out? Yeah, dude, I don't even... life's too short for this kind of nonsense. Get me out of here. Ed's plan. Ed's plan. I guess I know some other stuff about Drake, too, but not enough about it to want to get into it. You know, it's not like private information. You hear, I don't know. You hear stuff online, you're like, oh, okay. Regardless, I don't know. It's moving on, I suppose. We're just moving on. Because I'm a sucker, like I said. Dude, we actually got small rock as well. This is kind of crazy. It's kind of cracked key, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so like we just did a 15-minute bit on beards. That's pretty much like where I'm at today. I don't know. Even if the wheel of culture turns and the George Costanza becomes like considered trendy, I don't know if I could bring myself to wear it. Because like even when Seinfeld was on the air, people were making fun of George Costanza for being bald, even though he had the sides in the back. If they're already making fun of you for being bald when you got the sides in the back, why don't you just shave the sides in the back? You're going to the barber like once every... I don't even know, because I feel like the sides in the back are still growing in real fast. You're going to the barber once every 2 months to get the sides in the back trimmed up? Like, don't insult them. They went to school for this. It's so rude. It's like hiring a contractor to build you a spice rack, man. You don't have the project is not befitting the expertise of the person doing it. Just buy a, you know, a Remington electric trimmer or something like that and go to town. Remington trims. Ain't no anybody trimming with me. We run his city. Alright, so we actually did get Inner Child and Mom's Knife. Nope. Alright, one of these days, I play a lot of this game. One of these days, you know it's coming, man. God's plan. She asked me, do you love me? I told her only partly. I only love Brimstone and Mom's Knife. Girl, I'm sorry. Don't shoot me. Okay, I'm willing to take the hit on that one, because, like, I moved when the animation started, which I think led to me getting frickin' blasted, even though that attack, in theory, is supposed to only blast you if you panic. But even then, it's kind of inconsistent. So look, I'm not trying to cause any problems or anything. Not trying to have anybody have, like, the worst day. Oh, my own bomb? Whip. Ed's plan, baby. That's Ed's plan. That's about it. Been thinking about getting into Taylor Swift. Don't really know any Taylor Swift songs. I think I know I Knew You Were Trouble When You Walked In. And I know Shake It Off, okay? And I know, that's Katy Perry. Don't even say it. I know, there's got to be some more. Bad Blood? I think I know Bad Blood. But Peloton recently had a artist series for T-Swift where you can get a badge if you do 3 Taylor Swift original artist series runs, and it's Taylor's version of Red. I don't know what any of this means, but I do love the badges. So who knows? Maybe this is the start of my Taylor Swift arc. Probably not. I suppose it's not really Taylor Swift's fault that 1989 beat To Pimp a Butterfly for the Grammys Album of the Year, and also, like, who cares about the Grammys to begin with? But, like, I harbor a grudge. That's not her fault in the slightest, actually. Like, everything I know about her, she seems kind of like a nice lady, and her music is well-liked and important to a lot of people. I do feel like, if anything, I should thank the Grammys for freeing me from the idea that they actually recognize important. Okay, I mean, I don't know what, like, look, it's a great album, okay? I've got to go to bat for To Pimp a Butterfly, because it's probably the most recent album of original music I've ever listened to, or, like, since it came out. Well, this is helpful. We got a little out of that. I'm not going to cry about it, maybe. I don't know what it says. So we have a book, it's called How I Feel, right? And it's a baby book. It's not for me. I only read behavioral finance books. That's like half a joke. I read The Old Man and the Sea. I read Slaughterhouse 5. I'm very well read. I read a little, well, actually, no, I read all of Notes from Underground. I read a little bit of the which one is the Brothers Karamazov from? I read a little bit of War and Peace and decided that life's too short. Anyway, it's called How I Feel. So, like, it's just a picture of a child on every page and an emotion that child is experiencing. So you teach your baby, like, what this emotion looks like. You know, maybe they can recognize it within themselves at some point. So it starts, and it's like, happy. That's an easy one. Then it goes mad, and she chuckles a little bit, but I think she gets it. Mad is an easy emotion to handle. Then it goes, like, excited or surprised. That's easy enough as well. She likes it. I go, and then she laughs, and then she forgets that she just laughed, and I do it again, and she laughs again. It's like a nice bonding moment. Then it goes sad, and I pretend to, like, be sad and sniff a little bit and maybe even, like, look like I'm crying. I'm not trying to emotionally manipulate my child, right? I'm trying to teach her what sadness looks like. She busts up laughing every time I do sad. I don't know what to think about it, man. Like, my sadness is the funniest thing in the world to this child. I guess she knows, like, I'm not sad, probably. And that's why she feels comfortable laughing. I would never do, like, I know I've seen a lot of videos like this online. I would never do the classic YouTube video where, like, you pretend to be dead and then see if your toddler comes over to you and, like, is upset. I know maybe it's not like a universal thing. I've seen like at least 20 videos like that. And it's always like, so cute, you won't believe what this toddler's reaction was when she thought her dad died and she found his body. I'm sorry to laugh, but it's like a fake situation in the video. And it always like, you're like, yeah, it's cute, I guess, that they're devastated, that they think that their parent died and they discovered their body. I was just like, it's one of those things that, and we've talked about it, particularly on the NLSS. It's so funny that, like, people think, oh, don't worry about it, like, they're not going to remember it. Like, you can be affected by things that you don't remember, man. You know, even if you can't remember it, like, you know, it's like a sociopath's reasoning. Like, I don't know, I think we had a one-frame dodge there. That was the only frame where that was possible. I don't know what like a cat's long-term memory is or something like that. But I wouldn't, you know, like shoot like an elastic band at my cat or something like that and be like, oh, don't worry, they're not gonna remember it. You know, it's just, yeah, but in the moment they're like, ow, that hurt. I might not remember it tomorrow, but at the same time, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Unless you're in Vegas? Is that how that works? If you don't remember something and it happened in Vegas, it stays in Vegas, but it could be reactivated later. It lays dormant, perhaps. I don't know about the quantum superposition of events with no memory that happened in Vegas. Like, if you got circumcised in Vegas, I don't know. He's got no memory of it, but also what happened in Vegas, but also, you know. Wait, I have one life. What is this life from? What are you from? I brought it up because, you know, it's it wasn't just a random circumcision joke. You know, we don't get into the issue too much, except when both Corey and I are in a call together, then we get into it every time. But that's what people say is like, you know, well, on the one hand, I think like my child should have their own choice as to, you know, what they do with that particular issue. On the other hand, you know, hey, if you just get it done when they're like young, they won't remember it. And you're like, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it still hurts like a son of a gun. I don't remember it, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure even as a baby, you know, there was a couple, you know, hours there where I was like, yo, what the heck? And I woke up the next day and like, you know, I'm not that upset about the whole situation. I'm just saying it seems like a strange reasoning to do something to someone is that they won't remember it. Anyway. Binding of Isaac Repentance. This is two pretty solid runs back to back. I'm a happy man. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. I'll see you tomorrow. See ya!